According to a report from Politico that came out yesterday, Marjorie Taylor Greene might soon be getting the boot from the Freedom Caucus in the House of Representatives. Now, the Freedom Caucus, of course, is the far-right kind of extremist wing of the Republican Party. It's the freaks and the weirdos that are squarely behind Donald Trump. And, you know, back in the day, it was like the Tea Party folks, which is kind of where this came from. So it's always been the nutballs, the odd jobs, the crazies. But according to 3 members of that committee who spoke on the condition of anonymity to Politico, Marjorie Taylor Greene just ain't one of them anymore. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene has, of course, become too buddy-buddy with Kevin McCarthy, right? She's super establishment now. So we just don't know if she fits in with our little special club anymore. They also pointed out the fact that, of course, Greene has gone against them on several issues, one of which was even supporting Kevin McCarthy to be Speaker of the House. And recently she helped put down a potential revolt against Kevin McCarthy. She went against them on the debt ceiling, so they're not happy with where she stands on policies. Again, because, you know, she's a little too established. She's not crazy enough for the crazy people's club anymore. Which is ridiculous on its face, right? Let's be honest. These lawmakers that reached out to Freedom Caucus Chair Scott Perry saying, we got to kick her out. According to Perry, he's squashed this, right? We're not kicking anybody out right now. Right now. But it could happen. But let's remember something here, right? At the beginning of this year, Marjorie Taylor Greene was given this weird treatment by the media, including that, fluff piece they did on 60 Minutes. She went on Fox News. She said that she doesn't believe the Q stuff anymore. She had gone down a rabbit hole, but she has emerged. She was trying to rebrand herself as not a lunatic. But then she immediately went back to her crazy and erratic behavior, screaming at President Biden during the State of the Union address, saying all sorts of crazy things on social media, including pushing conspiracy theories. She is, of course, still pushing to impeach President Biden. She has not tamed herself at all. If anything, she's actually gotten worse. So she's still the queen of the crazies, which makes it weird that the the Freedom Caucus thinks that she's not extreme enough for them anymore. Like, suddenly, Marjorie Taylor Greene is just a normal human being, so you don't fit into the crazy people club. There are other members, and of course, none of these people who spoke to Politico were willing to identify the other folks, but the other folks, it's not because, they haven't been crazy enough, it's because they're, according to the sources, inactive. They're not showing up to our meetings. They're not coming to our little clubhouse. So we're gonna kick those people out too. This is all ridiculous. You look at all the problems happening around the country right now. With wages, with environmental disasters, with crime in red states mostly, by the way, which is where the worst cities in the country are for violence here in the United States. We got all kinds of horrible things happening in the country. And the biggest issue that the Freedom Caucus Republicans are tackling right now is, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene's not crazy enough for us, so we got to work on this. Like, you could, you're making the choice not to, do things. You could do your jobs, right? But you don't want to do your jobs because your job, you think, is to be in Congress and just obstruct everything. Like, if it's Republicans doing it, you don't like it. If it's Democrats doing it, you hate it. And y'all are just there to piss and moan and whine and go on Fox and Newsmax and One America and whine about how bad everything is. And not a single one of you crazy folks has a solution to fix anything. The Freedom Caucus is the crybaby caucus, right? It's not just the crazy folks, it's the crybabies. Because you actually are in a position of power where you could help change this country for the better, but you're both at the same time too stupid to know how to fix it, and you don't give a damn about any of the problems facing average Americans anyway. So your biggest concern is whether or not Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy enough to stay in the crazy people's club. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.